a 2015 Mazda 6. So on this particular job we're going to do a oil change. So if you look down here inside, here's your pop the hood. Okay, so what happens is when you put your fingers underneath the hood, here's the latch you're looking for. And then to hold the hood up, here it is, the point. I'll hold it up. Okay, so right over the top of the engine, here's where you put the oil in, and this is where you check it. So let's just check it for the fun of it. Alright, we have to wipe this off. So we'll wipe that off so we get a clean start. Then we'll see what happens. This particular car seems to be down a quart. Let's see, let's check it again. Ooh, yeah, if you look on a dipstick, it's down 1 quart. So good thing it came in for an oil change. So this is the owner's manual, 2015 Mazda 6. What I'm looking for is the jacking points. Okay, so we look in the manual and we see flat tire. Removing a flat tire, 714. So we'll go to 714. And here's the jack, and here's where it tells you are the lifting points. So he's right in back of the front tire and right in front of the rear tire, and that's where you put your jack, because I want to know where to put my floor jack to raise this car up. So let's go take a look at the car. Okay, so I am going to put a piece of wood under the jack just to distribute the weight. So right underneath here where it has that little plug where the little slot to lift up the car where you put your jack, this is where I'll raise it. Okay. Now that we have it lifted up enough, let's put one of these jacks here, leave enough room for the tire, and then let's just look around here. This is metal, that's metal, this is plastic, oh, this is plastic. So I guess this would be another spot for the jack, and then we'll do that on the other side. But this is on this side, so let me slowly lower the jack down. Okay, now this would be, okay, this is the passenger side. Okay, we verified this is all metal, so it's safe to jack the car up. Okay, now that we got it up high enough, we'll put our jack stand there and lower it down. Okay, so now we have the jack stands on both sides. And before I get under it, I'll just wiggle the car. Looks like it's not going to move, so we can do. So when you're underneath the car, it has, all these new cars have the same thing, all this plastic stuff. Well, Here is, at the beginning, if you look, this just has one screw and it just sort of pulls out. This is for the radiator. And this larger one over here is access to the bottom of the engine. Okay, you can use a screwdriver to take it off. There's one. If you get stuck and you can't get it with a screwdriver, you can always use a little ratchet. And that happens to be, this is 5/16. Okay. The next thing is that they have these little plastic grommets. So you just stick your screwdriver in there and pull it out. Just a little. Okay, that's one. Let's go after the other one. Pull it out, and there you go. And then it sort of, if you see, it sort of slips in here. Okay, here's the filter. And here is the oil pan and the bolt for that. So, let's get our drain pan. Alright, so here's the filter. See if I can, perfect, I can get this off. Someone did not put this on super tight. If you can't get it off, they sell a tool that goes around here and it locks, and that way you can pull it off, and I'll show you that later on when I get it off. So this is just a simple twist. And there it is. Okay, here's the tool. So what happens is it goes around the filter and you clamp it to take it off counterclockwise, so it tightens as it grabs the filter, and you can take it off. But most of the time they'll come off by hand. Now I happen to just use, this is a Wix filter. There is a difference. Some of these are a lot better than other ones. There's a guy on the internet who takes about 5 or 6 of these filters, takes them apart, totally takes them apart, rips them all up, everything else, and shows you what's inside. So if you're really interested in that, look them up on the YouTube. Alright, so you can see where the filter, I just cleaned this off really good. And then before I put this on, I'll take a little drop of oil and go all the way around so that there's oil on the seal. I just happened to grab some right from the oil pan here. Anyway, so just spin that right on and tighten it by hand. And that's it. No more. That's it. Okay, for the drain plug, let's break that loose. Get your pan ready, because it's coming. And also, it's going to go in an arc, and then it'll slow down. So, make sure you're ready, or you're going to get oil in your driveway. But here it comes. So with the drain plug itself, I usually just take that washer off, wipe everything down nice and clean, and put it back on. But this is a this happens to be a number 8, and this is what I used to take it off and what I used to put it on. Okay, here it is, just a little dripping, just a little bit more, and we'll just wipe that off and put our plug back in here. we got our plug in there. Okay, so we'll just tighten it up. Okay, now don't super tighten this, because somebody's going to have to take this off again. I wipe everything clean. Now we're going to put oil in the engine and start it and run it. But I'm not going to put this cover on until I start it and see that if check for leaks. Because once you put this cover on, if it leaks a little bit, it can make a mess, because it'll just fill up underneath this whole thing will just fill up with oil before you even start seeing it leak. Okay, so if you've never done this before, you can always look at the manual, and under engine, this is oil, 621. Go to 621, and here this is recommended oil, and it says 0 to 20. Okay, it also says castor oil. You don't have to use castor oil. That's just who paid Mazda to have their name put in here. Okay, so it says use 0 to 20. So what happens is I went and bought myself some Mobile 1, and it says 0 to 20, and it says 5 US quarts. Okay, next thing you want to look for in the manual, it says fluids 9-4. Okay, you go to 9-4 over here, and it just talks about the engine, electrical system, and here's what you're looking for is capacities. Engine oil, and it says without the filter is 4.5 quarts, but since we changed it, we need to put 4.8 quarts in it, and we got a 5 quart container of oil. So let's just go and put this in. Alright, this is the engine compartment. This is just a big piece of plastic to hide the top of the motor, but anyway, right over here is where you fill it, and it tells 0 to 20. That's what it wants. So just take that out, and here's your dipstick. So what I use is a funnel, so I don't make that big of a mess. So just slowly pour it in. If you pour it from the side like this, it won't have that gulping and splatter all over the place. Just take your time. It'll all go in. Okay, just let it sit there for a couple minutes. Okay, so we're all done. Take the funnel out of there. Close the cap. Alright, now we'll check the oil. Pull the dipstick. Clean it off. And take a little look. Push it all the way down. Wait a second. Then we'll check again. And it is full. So the next thing is, let's start the engine up. So as soon as you start the engine, you come over here and check, and you'll see it does not leak. So. Okay, so now we know that it doesn't leak. We can put this cover back up. Okay, so let's see which way. It goes in here, catches that lip. And you line everything up. And the back ones have these little plastic things, which I hate, but that's what it is. Yeah. So you just stick them in there and push it up. Stick it in, push it up, and it's got 2 screws. One there. So you can just use a Phillips screwdriver to tighten it up, or a 15/16 socket. Okay, that takes care of everything on the bottom. Okay, the next thing is to take the floor jacks out. Remember, you have to find a place that's real metal, not this plastic stuff. Don't put it over here because it's going to go right through. So we'll just jack it right up, enough to take the jack out. And then gently lower it down. So if you're not comfortable of putting the jack underneath, you can always, I just use the board here. Right here is where you put the jack. So gently let it down. There we go. Okay, the car is level. It's been sitting, and we let it run. The filter, oil went through the filter. So now let's check the filter. Check and see if the level is between these 2 dots right here. Push it down. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Take a look at it. And it's right where it's supposed to be. Alright, perfect. So the last thing I normally do is put a piece of masking tape there. I'll just put the date, and then I'll put the miles, 58,500. Now, I know that that's the last time I changed the oil. I do one more little thing. Since the oil came in this big container, and where I live, the city takes it, but you can drop this oil back off at most places where you bought it. I happen to buy this at O'Reilly's, but all these other auto stores do the same. Okay. Put the cap on in case somebody knocks it open. And there we go. Knocks it over and it spills all over. There you go. Hold on.